Green Lantern, beware my power. That's right, folks. Finally, the DC animated offices said, no, we guess we could do more than just Batman in one Superman movie. Like, I guess we could do that. Look, this new era of DC animated has been, I think it's been pretty bad. Man of Tomorrow was good. Long Halloween, it was fun. The Justice Society one of my favorite teams, didn't love it. The Catwoman Hunted one, kind of cute, kind of playful, it was fine. Soul the Dragon, I liked that one a lot. It makes sense to me that you do a Green Lantern one. It makes even more sense to me that you do Jon Stewart because he's a fan favorite character who doesn't get enough spotlight. And I feel like if you're going to do anything Green Lantern now, you should just do Jon Stewart. That makes sense to me. We're resetting our universe. We have characters you are familiar with, and we're relaunching it. It's in the Man of Tomorrow universe where all these other things are. And it's the Jon Stewart origin story. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing about this. I was able to see an early sample of this movie, and I've been thinking about it since I watched it. I can honestly say it is probably the weakest one they've made, just because it misses the mark, I think, on everything. First off, you're doing a Jon Stewart story. Can you make Jon Stewart a character? Somebody interesting, aside from PTSD from war, won't talk to people. He's very passive in this story where he won't really talk unless spoken to. He has no real personality. And I guess you could say he learns a lesson by the end to reach his fullest potential. But the story happens quick. It just gets into the bullshit really fast, and we're just tumbling through the weeds after that in a really big way. And it's not a good kind of big. It's like, okay, we're meeting Jon Stewart. 10 seconds later, here's the ring. He gets it. He meets the Justice League, space adventure, fight villain, story over. It is really fast. We don't get any time to really breathe with this character, and that's the problem. When you're doing Jon Stewart, I understand the idea to make it militaristic where he's like the stoic hero, but give him some personality at least. Don't have this character who is a fan favorite be a miserable ass throughout most of the thing where he's like, I don't care about any of this, just get this damn thing off of me, and reluctantly he becomes the hero. Not a good characterization. He's not the only one that remains unscathed. A terrible Green Arrow. There's a fine line to draw when you're doing a Green Arrow. It could either be presented as too dickish or not dickish enough. This leaned towards he's a big douchebag, and I did not like that. It tries to be quippy and funny. It's not. I think the Vixen was good. I think the Hawk Girl was fine. Sinestro was okay, but everyone else I just think is, yeah, you're really reaching for the fences to make this a big universe movie, and it's really not supposed to be. So because of that, the story falls flat, where it so much happens in this story, and none of it should be shoved into this story. We are dealing with the origin of Jon Stewart, what is going on with the Justice League, here are the supporting characters. The Thanagar and Rand war is happening for some reason in the background of this thing, and also Hal Jordan becomes Parallax. All of those things happen in this 80-minute movie. Why, for starters, does all of that need to happen? You could tell a convincing story if you kept it more personal to John and Hal and got rid of that. Here's the Adam Strange cameo showing up, and here's Hawk Girl. They're not needed for this story. You want to make John this big character in space. You want to make it a personal story about him replacing this guy named Hal. It could be something to explore, and it could give it more depth than just, oh, look, we're just going to explain the war in space to you, and then Hal's going to explain what happened to him. And it's like, yeah, okay. I can get behind doing that to Hal Jordan. He of course is my favorite Green Lantern. He's the one I've read the most of. I understand letting John take that stand, but it feels like we can't even have a second for Hal to breathe. He is just thrust into the role of bad piece of shit, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And it's just so fast, and the story itself, it's so basic and simple, but the most egregious thing to me is just how boring the voice acting is. And I get Aldous Hodge is going to be a big guy coming to the DCEU really soon. He's going to be Hawkman in the Black Adam movie. I understand letting him do Jon Stewart. It sucks. he's so bad at voice acting. And I maybe I'm missing something of what he's doing with this character. But the moments where there should be more emotion, there isn't, and it's really bad. The same with Jimmy Simpson's Green Arrow. I get why you would choose him, but that voice is not Green Arrow. That voice is too much of a prick. There should be at least some swagger under the flavor of a Green Arrow popsicle. That's just bitter. And I did not like that. The other ones are standard. When you have an actual voice actor in there, it feels better. You know, when Nolan North comes in to do his thing, you're like, oh, thank God, an adult is here to let voice acting show you what you can do. I'm like, yes, thank you for that. And then aside from that, it's just a really basic animated show. And I get they don't have the biggest budgets for these things, but it could look better. I think if you even just comparing it to like the Justice Society one and the Superman one, it just looks really flat and simple. And maybe it's just because, oh yeah, we've tried a couple of them now. No one's really excited for them. We spent all our money getting Jimmy Simpson and Aldous Hodge in here, so we can't really spend time on the animation. Maybe that's the case. It's a shame, because it don't look pretty, and it doesn't do anything. So, out of everything we've seen this new era of DC animated, I'm the most let down by this one, because there is cool story beats in there you could play with if you let those story beats flesh itself out more, not just as like set dressing for a really shitty Jon Stewart origin story. The voice acting is very weak. The animation is surprisingly simple for this style. And I don't think there's much redeeming about this story. If you are a fan of Jon Stewart, there is really nothing about this character that's going to make you go, yeah, that's my Jon. There he is doing the thing. It's just really lazy, really easy, and kind of just whatever. And I don't want to give it too much of a hard time because they don't have the biggest budgets. They aren't made for everybody, but I've seen you try harder. So maybe try harder again, you know? You'd be surprised what you could do, really. So Green Lantern, Beware My Power, I'm going to give a 3 out of 10. And thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I will catch you guys in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.